Hi. This is going to be my attempt at a tutorial. So I'm finishing off Jimmy, which is my Panna Christmas Moose, and I've just gotten to the smoke coming out of the chimneys. So this is the smoke kind of unfolded. It's all wrapped up inside of a small bag and kind of tugged at first, then realized it's kind of these strips. Now, on the pattern, where's the pattern? There is 6 different smokestacks. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see how many pieces we got. Got 1, 2, 3, sort of just 4. So we're going to just split this one. 5. I'm not sure if this, so I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see. Okay, so that looks like a good size. 1, 2, 3. Let's split this one too. There we go. Now we have 6. Okay, there we go. We got 6 smokes. Okay. And it looks like we're just sort of pinning it. So if you look at the pattern, they just show little, where's the pattern? Up here, they're just showing, and it's really hard to see, but down at the smokestack here, there is around 3 of the stitches. So I'm thinking it's just laying on top, and then we're just pinning it with some white thread. So I'm going to pause you while I get ready, and then we're going to see how well this works, okay? So one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is there's kind of a skinnier end and a fatter end. And looking at the picture, because that's all I have to go by, it looks like the skinny end is down near the chimneys. So the smoke is fanning out. So we have 3 chimneys on each side. So I think I'm going to try and make it into a little point as best as I can. I'm gonna use 2 strands of white thread just because I want to do loop start. I don't have to. I could just use 1. But I'm going to use 2. Or maybe I'll use 1. I'll use 2. I'm going to use 1. I'm going to go get my scissors. Okay, I decided to use just 1 thread, and I'm just, okay, these first 2 are, I've just put the thread underneath some stitches behind to anchor it, and I'm just coming up here. This looks way too long. I think I'm going to have to pull this in half. No, that doesn't seem to work. Okay, maybe it just puffs out. Okay, this is really weird stuff. Is this my smallest one? Are they all the same sizes? That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a medium size. That's kind of goofy one. They're all about the same size. Okay, we're just going to put those over here for now. And we're going to work with this one. We're going to try to make it a bit tight and have it sitting in the chimney, and come up with my thread. Wow, that looks way too big. Now it does kind of, maybe when it gets anchored it'll be okay. Okay. And so I looked online for a tutorial how to do this and couldn't find any. So that's why I'm doing this. And I think the main thing is you just got to do it. You want it to look like it's coming out of the chimney, so I want it to sit right there. But then if I got to anchor it, that doesn't look like it's going to anchor it. I'm actually almost tempted to use my snag nabbit and shove it down. This is not fun. Okay, let's go through there. I think we're going to have to shove this down so it's coming up, which was my initial idea. Okay. I might even just get a big fat needle. I'm going to do that right now. So hold on a second. I had one here. Okay, I got a big needle. This is like a 22 or so, maybe even a 20 or 18. I don't know. It's a very big needle. I'm going to use that to put the smoke down in the chimney, but I'll first anchor a few before I do that, because there's lots of room to go here. Oh. I thought this was going to actually be easier than it is so far. You can't really see where you're anchoring either. You can't see where your stitches are coming up. Okay, so I'm going to just move the smoke aside a little bit. No. Hi, Chickie. Okay, there we go. Probably don't want to pull it tight because you don't want it too obvious. Just trying to anchor it slightly. Okay, then I'm just going to follow the pattern for where the anchor points are. And then there's another one that is right about here. One thing, when I did the back stitching, I really winged it a lot. It didn't have to matter too much. But some places it was important. So like the branches of the trees became important. So I did actually do those correctly when it came down to the stringing of the lights. Okay, that's those three near the base of the thing. And then we're going kitty corner 2 and then up 2. So that's going to be tricky to find. We go from here, we're going up 2. So right about here. I think you have to keep moving your smoke out of the way. I got where I want to be. It's right here. I want my smoke on the other side. And then I'm going to just come down. And the other thing when you don't have instructions is you use the picture a lot on the main thing. So, oh, they're not anchoring at all. They anchor a little bit. Oh, okay. Okay, well, let's just go back a bit on that last one. Might have to just pull it out my needle and thread that again. So they show just a little anchor. And almost I could come up partway through the smoke and then back down and where I'm supposed to go, which is really hard to see because it's underneath all the smoke. I think I'm going to be winging this in the end, but there we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. Okay, now before I go very far, I think I'm going to just show you my idea, and we're going to see how well this works. Got a little needle minder there. To try and take this smoke so I'm going to try and whirl this. I might not be able to thread this on the needle. I'm going to wet it a little bit. I don't know if this is going to work. Thread it on my needle. Kind of worked. And then just try and go down. Roll my needle's almost too long. That's a pretty fat needle too. Now I could just grab a threader. Let's see how well this works. Let's see if we can pull it through. This may not be worth the effort. There we go. Ooh, that worked pretty good. That worked pretty good. So now it really looks, so I pulled that right through, as you can see. Can you see that? Pulled it right through. And theoretically, I could take things to just anchor it on the back here. I'm planning on making this maybe into a pillow. We'll see, or a kind of maybe a shaped pillow, like cutting out a round with a good border. Although the smoke's going to be up there, so maybe I can't. Maybe I just do a square pillow. We'll see. But I was thinking of it almost like a wall hanging. But now that there's smoke, I'm not sure. So I'm going to try my best to carry on, and I'll show you after I finish this first one. So as I'm carrying on, I haven't done anything yet. I just paused you for a few minutes while I try to figure things out. I think it's easiest to just try to lay the smoke out. Now I still think this is kind of big, like it's getting out the end here. So I'm kind of tempted to just cut this, but I don't know what it'll be like if I cut it. Is it going to be all raggedy? So the other thing is just to make it really wide. So I'm using the picture, and they go more straight up, but you know, they're barely, this is coming up so high. It's like I got too much in here. So maybe they gave us a ton of extra. Maybe it's supposed to be split. I'm going to try this. That worked. So I just split off a bit to make it a bit less. And then I'm just kind of laying it down and deciding on what looks good. It's still a bit high, so I probably could shave that off a bit. Now that doesn't look quite as good because that looks like a haircut. I'd like it to be a little bit more pointed maybe. Okay, so that's a bit better. I think you have to just play with it a little bit. So I've actually cut off quite a bit. So I tore this in half again. So I'm going to have leftover stuff. I'm going to use smaller bits. And then I cut off a big chunk off the end like that. So, and then this was what I took off. So, and now it's looking a bit more like that, which I think is a little more reasonable. So now I am going to just take the white thread and I'm just going to anchor it in different spots. I'm going to do it randomly. I'm not going to do it according to the instructions because that's just a little too piddly. So there you go. That is my instruction. You will see on my Flosstube my actual finished, unless I decide to show you here. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, so I figured out a trick. I'm actually going to stitch these straight stitches from the back side to anchor the smoke. So as long as I got my hand sort of on the smoke, it's just easier to kind of pick spots and just stitch it this way. I'll flip it over every once in a while and have a look. That looks good. There's more over here. And I can feel with my hand where the smoke actually is. I just tugged on the smoke a bit. Probably want to go up here. Can you see what I'm doing? Not really, sorry. I'll kind of just pick in. So let's have a look and see how it looks so far. Well, that's looking pretty good. I like that's looking like the instructions. Let's just pull this down a little bit. You probably can play with this afterwards. Now I think I'll come over here, over to this side a bit more. I almost got my finger where I want to be. I can't believe that there were no instructions on how to do this. That was actually very frustrating. I even went to the website and they have tutorials, but nothing on this. We'll do a couple here. The instruction sheets are just so generalized. That's the problem. Oops, I just lost my needle. Okay, I think my needle minder is way too low. We're going to move it up a bit. It's just old magnets. I think they were off those. Okay, let's have a look at where we're at. Wow, that's actually working. I could have done another one down there, but that's actually kind of working. That's not bad. Okay, well that's going to be the end of my tutorial. Like I said, on my Real Flosstube, you will see the finished product. I will tag it with Panna Moose so that people know if they're looking for it. So thanks everybody. Bye.